just kind of kept going and never stopped since high school. And, you know, it just kept growing and growing until, you know, 1997 when we got engaged and then married in 98. And so it's been going ever since. And, you know, I have my best friend here and I wouldn't, you know, be able to do it without him.
We were a young couple. She was still going to finishing college, and I was working. I had taken a break from school just to work, so I can make sure that we had, you know, our bills paid. You know, it put a strain on our relationship.
Once we had the breakdown of communication, I felt like I didn't have my best friend anymore. I felt like unseen, you know, I just felt like a mom. I didn't feel like his wife. I didn't feel like his best friend. I didn't feel like we had that connection anymore. So it was easy to be tempted by outside influences who give you attention or, you know, want to lead you astray from your marriage. And so I let that ultimately kind of influence my take on our marriage and say, you know what, maybe there's more for me that I'm not getting in this marriage, you know, because of the monotony of being a parent and, you know, just not being seen. So I decided to kind of go my own way. And
I really thought it was a bad dream. I mean, when she told me that she was going to go her own way, I couldn't believe that was happening because we'd been together for so long. And our lives were just really intertwined. You know, we were separated for quite a while. The total span was 6 years, six and a half years. And at that particular point, you know, I had to just rebuild my life and realize that my identity is not in any other person or in a relationship. It's in God. And I had to work on building that identity in Christ again. We hadn't taken that final step to just close the chapter in our marriage. We were living separate lives, but
we always held on to a little bit of hope that maybe there was a chance, you know?
Yeah. That's when I decided to take action and file the paperwork for divorce.
People were praying for us, you know, for not necessarily for us to get back together, but that we would find peace, wherever that peace was. And, you know, it was when I started praying for myself and just crying out to God that, please, just show me the path that you have for me, because I don't want to live like this anymore. That's when I was able to just open myself up.
After I noticed you really opening yourself up to changing your heart, I think that's when I was ready to open my heart up to her, even though I had been hurt before. You know, it's funny, as soon as that started happening, we kind of reconnected very naturally, you know, as friends and as best friends and as husband and wife.
And at this time we were already divorced on paper, but that didn't matter because, you know, it was a piece of paper that couldn't define our feelings for one another. And those feelings never left, even though we could suppress them, those feelings never left. So it was very easy to just open myself up to loving this man again.
You know, going through this challenge in my life, it wasn't easy. There were many times that I would get frustrated because I would pray and I felt like nothing was happening. And I did give up a couple times, and I gave up on the restoration, and you know, to the point that we initiated this divorce. You know, in my mind, it was over. It was over, but God had bigger plans. And the moment that I gave up, that I surrendered everything, that I stopped doing everything in my own power to try to change things, that's when God stepped in. You never know what God has in store. And, you know, as bad as it seems, as hopeless as it seems, and as much as you might pray and you may not see the answer, or God may not fix your relationships or your families right away, you know, He has bigger plans. It's just a great and wonderful thing.